everyone. Thank you for joining webinar number 18. I am your host, Fernando Leon, and I am joined by my co-host, Gregory Morabiec. Today, we have a special guest. Jeremy Miller is from Lionfish Cybersecurity. Jeremy is the CEO and founder of Lionfish Cybersecurity, which provides cyber risk management solutions to help MSPs secure their clients' network. Their advanced platform is designed to help MSPs meet compliance, cyber hygiene requirements, and safeguard sensitive information from hackers and cyber criminals. And Jeremy, thanks for joining us. I'm going to hand control. I'm going to give you complete control. The floor is yours, and you can start your demo when you're ready.
All right. Well, first, thanks for having me on the MSP Corner. I appreciate that, and I appreciate both of you, Fernando and Gregory. You guys are stellar in the industry, and I know you're forward thinking and trying to help all these MSPs generate more clients and do a lot better security for them to keep them and their some resiliency up. So thank you for everything that you guys do.
Of course.
Yeah. And so today I believe you wanted me to go through kind of the platform, show your viewers and show your audience kind of what we're doing, how we can help them, how that SPOC can also help them in a way that can come in and help them do some security if they're not quite doing it, which is awesome in and of itself. So what we've built is a compliance management and risk platform. However, it is so much more than just that. We have things inside of it that are going to walk you through a compliance awareness training. You always hear of cyber awareness training, but nobody ever talks about compliance awareness training. And what the heck is that? Well, if you know what those requirements are that have to be done, and I'm going to show you here in a second, if you know what those requirements are, then you can hear somebody, and actually he might be on this call with us, going through some of these requirements that tell you what those are in a down-to-earth way that not only your beginner people in compliance can understand, but also the businesses and their team could understand what you're doing in their environment to help them become either more compliant, resilient, or just take care of your insurance requirements, and not mess them up. So that's what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show. And what we'll do is I'll use NIST 800-171 as our go-to here, but we've got multiple different frameworks, from SOC 2, PCI, NIST 172 or 53, HIPAA, CMMC, CIS frameworks, and we just recently put in AI risk management. So all of you that are starting to use AI tools, you need to know what those risk management are for the AI as well. So,
Jeremy, real quick, I saw that list. That's a great list. Because, as you know, we're a global organization. We have clients in the UK, Australia, Singapore, and their concerns are GDPR.
Yes.
And do you have the framework for GDPR? Because that is a common conversation we're having with our clients overseas.
We do, and I'm going to tell you what, I'll get with Gregory after this, and we'll discuss helping to build out the audio pieces for those.
Awesome.
So that the viewers can understand that. So we do have that framework in here. I've not deployed it because we don't have those yet.
Okay.
So and the other one might be ISO. You guys seen a lot of ISO as well with what you're doing? Yeah. So we could deploy that as well. So when you're in here in the system, this is the frame, the single pane that not only the engineer side sees, but also the clients can see. And you can even have them or ask them to come and do a quick self-assessment. So that self-assessment would be a quick walkthrough with a very, very good engineer explaining them what these are. So I kind of show you what I mean. So when you get spun up an instance, It's multi-tenant, by the way. So you get spun up an instance, and say you're talking to a end client that you want to woo and talk to, and you say, "Hey, I'm going to help you. Let's do a quick self-assessment." Or maybe you're doing a full-blown assessment with them that you're charging them some good money for. You could do it either way; it doesn't matter. But they get in here and they see these, and they're like everybody else. What in the world do these mean? All these requirements for just access control. Well, first of all, some of your viewers may not even know what this is, and these are the domains. And the domains are like a chapter in a book of everything in that chapter is all about that domain. So access control, they talk about how to access the systems and your building and whatever. Okay. And so in there, they would read this and they go, I don't know what that means to say I have it or don't have it. So they can actually click the play button and listen
Access
and
controls.
see.
So you need to have individual login accounts for your network or your infrastructure or your computer or your wireless or.
So the engineer goes through this and discusses what that is, and you can then go, yeah, no, I don't have that, because a lot of times you'll know if you're doing it or not. I mean, like even when you hit down here and you hit CUI, right? CUI.
The CUI is the confidential information that the government usually shares with us. So we're going to have what's called a workflow of how CUI is processed into the company.
Right. So right off the bat, if you don't have a workflow, you're not doing it. So you're going to mark it no. Okay.
Interesting.
We,
okay.
It doesn't have to be real deep and intricate right now. All we're trying to do is figure out what your gaps quickly are, or not yours, but your clients. So then you can then come back and show them, once they've gone through this, either with you or by themselves, a report of where they really stand. Okay. Yeah. So then it gives them a score here, and they go, well, oh my gosh, we're only 25 out of 110. I thought we were doing good with our antivirus, or whatever they were doing, right? Our firewall. And they're like, no. And so now you've got really good talking points to help them understand that they need more stuff and that you can provide it for them, right? And
Jeremy,
what's that?
Hey, I find a lot of people are they get these lists of things to do, and it's a little overwhelming. 110 controls, like you just said, we're only 25 in. Wow, they got to do like 80, 85 more
Right.
pieces of work. What does your platform do to kind of help them with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So once you've identified that they've got a problem, and they've identified internally that they're saying, yeah, you're right, Fernando. I need to fix this. What do we do? To Gregory's point, there's so much to do, and I don't know. I don't get it. I can listen to these audios, but it doesn't. I still don't know how to get it done, or I don't have the resources to do it. Then that's when you as an MSP can say, look, we'll take this on. Here's a quote to take care of these, and then we're going to go through and we're going to manage these with our system. Okay. And so again, if you're an MSP and you're not doing security yet and you don't know how to do these, you can hire great companies like SPOC to come in and help you alongside of you do these items, right? So they would come along with you, and you'd go through these with the client and get these done. So you'd go inside and do the management part. So I'm opening it up, and inside here, and even in the management part, we do more awareness training. Okay. We have short videos that tell them, hey, don't open door number 2 because door number 2 has the dragon behind it. Because if you didn't tell them that, they'd just open the door number 2 and they'd screw it all up what you were doing. So I'll quickly play this just so you kind of get an idea what this looks like as we're going through the answer to Gregory's question.
3.1.1 reads, limit system access to authorized users, find your identity, and those identities need to be role-based. So if you have a developer, he needs to be identified as a developer. If you have a CEO or executive or someone who has administrative powers over machines, they need to.
So this kind of explains this really, really well to these companies, what you're going to get ready to do to their environment, right? What you're doing to help them. So then you can identify who's a responsible party, the name of your MSP and or that company, or you're saying it's shared, or either one of those. So back to Gregory's original question just a second ago. it's so overwhelming, we're going to put it in bite-sized chunks. So they're doing one step at a time with the help of professionals like you, right? You're going to come in there and help them get these things done and take care of them. So this is my test account. So, once you've done the control, you're going to describe what you did in there. If there's any tasking that goes back and forth, you're going to write what the task is. Please take out the trash. I'm making that up, obviously, and then you would assign it to who in admin it goes to, who the client's side goes to, and then they would get notified. It would go in their calendar, and they would have this as a task they need to get done, whatever that task is that this requirement's asking for, right? So you go back and forth. There are sub controls that have to be looked at and done as well, as the auditor would come in, and so they're here, and you could talk about those, and those get resolved. Once everything's done, then you have to upload your artifacts, right? So if it's a requirement for an audit, depending on the audit, you might need one or two pieces of evidence, or maybe it's your cyber insurance you're worried about, and why not go ahead and upload anything that shows that you've done this, even though, because you told the insurance company you've done it. So now you could do this. So if anything ever happens, you've got record that you did it, right? So just good practice to keep those. And then any internal notes that are going to go with this particular practice or requirement that go back and forth saying, hey, this was done on such and such a date and blah, blah, blah. And then when you have business continuity, then, so if Jimmy leaves from your company for whatever reason, and Johnny comes in and takes his spot, he can go through this and know where we left off. So you want to keep good notes for business continuity as well. Now, your new guy coming in can also learn through the platform itself to help them do this GRC type work for all your clients. So it's pretty good. Then we've got auditor review stuff here. That would just be for an auditor when they come in. But additional information down at the bottom, just some additional training. We do have policies and procedures that are templated out. So you can use these templates. You can use your own and paste it in here. It doesn't matter to us, but we've given you a way to get started to do a policy procedure for your client. Then let's say you have your tool belt that you are already channel partners with or whatnot. This tools thing will actually be more of a marketplace, not just tools, but services. So you can hire people to come in and help you if you're not doing all the security stuff, or you need help with your SOC, or you need help with your NOC, or you need help with your help desk, right? So then you can hire companies, of course, like SPOC that can do that. So that would happen in here, right? So and then the tools that are needed to solve this problem would be here too. You can show these or not show these. We're showing them so the client knows what they have, what they're getting. And if they didn't buy the tool yet through your company, then they can request a quote to get that tool. Okay.
Interesting.
And then we have, go ahead. Do you have a question?
No, these are great features. I was hoping you could touch more on your training portal, because you have something going on every Friday, right? I was hoping that would be take a portion of your time. I don't know if you want to finish showing your features here, but I'm hoping that the training, we could give these guys a little insight on what you do every Friday, because I'm going to be announcing that on the MSP Corner every Monday. Hey, if you want to get training with Lionfish, this is what's going to go on. And I would love to at least give them a little sneak peek of what they're getting every Friday, or what they can schedule and do. Because hey, education is great. Education is required, especially if you're taking on the security behemoth. This is not simple stuff. This is very challenging for a lot of MSPs, and a lot of them need to be trained. So, but
I'll we've got, what do we got, about 6 more minutes?
We can take another 10-15 minutes if you like.
It's up to you. So I'll hit that if I just go through a few more things, and we'll get right to that. Okay. So So then we've got the POAM. So some companies or some requirements require you to have a POAM done, showing what your plan of action is to get the things remediated that are on your gap list, right? So that can all be done here, the milestones. Again, this all gets calendared and tasked out from there. Additional documentation, talk about training. Well, we've got documentation built right in. Our goal is to have everything that you need to solve the problem for this requirement in one place. You don't need to go looking all over the place for stuff. You want to get it done. We're about getting things done, right? Then we have additional videos that we may have curated will be in here as well. So if we come up here, last couple things, our task list, we already talked about that, but I'll just show you kind of how that works. So the task list is here. The calendaring, I haven't put anything in here new lately, but the task list is here and they would pop up. You can add a new task and it doesn't have to be related to the requirement. It could be something totally unrelated, just business process that you're wanting to get done with somebody. So that's all built into the system. And then we have our dashboard, right? So you can see where you are at any time from a high level piece of this. So if we go into now, I'll go into my learning and we'll see if we've got the work. I don't have it showing in here. I'm going to share another screen in a second. Well, we do have multiple other training components. So all of the CompTIA courses, we are a we're a CompTIA partner. So we have all of those in our system as well. So those are here. The training that you're referring to for every week, we have for every Friday from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard. We have one of our engineers, Gregory, has been instrumental on this every time we've had this. But we have an engineer like Gregory will come on and do some of the training that during the week. So that training would consist of talking about the domains, talking more about those requirements, and he goes into very deep details on them, and then about a half an hour of question and answers. Gregory, you want to talk a little bit about that since you actually run that right now?
Yeah, we go over each of the controls of NIST 800-171 one at a time, and we talk about what it is that the control is, what's required. We just have like a live session of making these controls work, and then anybody can ask questions that they might have based on what their companies are doing or have, or they might not have a location or multiple locations or backup media or whatever, so they want to know what to do in the event that they don't have certain things, and or things are missing from their from the thing is directly asking, what do you do with your thumb drives? And you're like, I don't have any thumb drives, and they don't know what to do, so we tell them.
Okay.
Yeah. See, Gregory's awesome at it. So here's like in our system that this would be unlocked for all of our clients as well, where they come in and they can hear those weekly sessions, just like Gregory said.
Couple, just I.
So yeah.
Special Word account. Those accounts need to be.
So those are in here as well for people to come and see, come back and hear the old ones that weren't there. But you want to be there for the ones we have in session, because we don't necessarily record the questions and answers at the end. So you want to be there to be able to ask your questions. We got people that attend that just block out the time so they can work on their requirements that they need to do, because they can ask about them. They can hear what other people ask. They can learn better. And so they love it. They love doing that.
And how long are the training sessions, would you say, Jeremy? What is this going through? Like 1 week is NIST, another week is HIPAA. What is the format for, and how long are they?
Yeah, so it's an hour long each Friday. And currently, as Gregory said, we're doing NIST, but we do plan on doing the other frameworks as well. And we'll announce those as they come up, and you can sign up to come. And yeah, but we plan on having all the frameworks in there for the training.
Okay, let's say you've missed a couple of classes. Do you have on-demand training where they can view the videos themselves? Is this only for
Yes.
clients, or is this for prospective clients?
Yeah, so when you sign up, even if you sign up on a trial basis on a system, you can come in and you can watch the, like this right here is a recording of the past of one of the past times done.
Okay.
So yeah, they'll be right there in the system ready for you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
That's great. Convenient. Makes it easy for you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because not everybody can make it all the time at that time period. You know, with everybody's busy schedule and client load and everything else, sometimes it's hard.
Will you ever do a live one-on-one lunch and learn? Like if you came to this California area, San Francisco area, would you be open to doing a live presentation for, some of these guys, they like to get out of the office, they want to do a lunch, and would you ever consider doing something like that?
You set it up, I'll come. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no. I love that. I love getting out with people and it's great.
Okay.
Mhm.
Definitely something we're looking forward to doing in the near future, because yeah, these guys, they're locked behind their computer all day. I'm sure some of them want to get out and not be staring at a screen 24/7, right? So I
That's
get it.
right.
They want to
That's
get
right.
out, socialize, meet new people, ask questions, and get some interaction going. Because man, you get behind that computer, it's like it seems like you've been stuck behind that for weeks. So I get it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I did this morning before this? I was on my bike. I got a treadmill with a desk. And I got a treadmill with a desk and I got a bike with a desk. And I rode 37 miles while I was working. It was amazing. I loved it. It was great.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah. So before we end though, I think it's probably important, and you guys chime in here. You've been in the industry a long time. You see these ins and outs with these MSPs, just in the trends that are happening in the industry, right? I mean, just 5 years ago, nobody was, other than certain industries, really pushing GRC as much. Now it's becoming more and more prevalent with larger companies pushing down their requirements down to their subs, right? Because they're having to follow some certain compliance regulation. You got insurance companies now that are saying, hey, you didn't do what you said you were doing when you filled out our insurance requirement. And so since you didn't do it and you got a breach, well, we're not paying, or we're certainly not paying as much, right? So that's a big issue. We got FTC and the Safeguard Act for any of the MSPs that handle people that that may be in a financial position. There are certain requirements. Even if you're an MSP and you don't think you're doing security, you're a breach. You are a breachable way into those clients, right? So you need to shore up your own. Even before you do your clients, you got to make sure your own stuff's clearing too, right? And so we give that ability for you to come in, set up your instance, take care of yourself, right? And if you need help, you can reach out to great people like Fernando and Gregory and other company, that you can start getting those things taken care of, right?
Yeah. So one of the you bring up a really valid point, that I think that a lot of companies, a lot of IT firms, a lot of MSPs, they're either they don't want to face the fact that their client is gonna is it's no longer an if will they get hacked, right?
It's when.
It's when.
Yeah,
So
right.
even if, let's say, your client is not in the regulated industry, it's just a small business, you got a 20-person office, they're let's say they're in manufacturing, right? I don't think or let's say they're what's a good one? Attorneys. I don't think they're a regulated firm. They just have a network to take care of. Would you recommend that they have cybersecurity insurance for maintaining that network? Because even though they're not regulated, is it a good idea for them to have cybersecurity insurance for that one client?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
they're holding everybody's personal,
I agree.
private information. They
Yeah.
are, yeah. I mean, and they're gonna, even if they get cyber insurance, most cyber insurance questionnaires look like NIST 171 or the CIS or one of those, right? So all these big long questionnaires are needed to be done. And when companies go and they fill them out and they just finger, yeah, and they're not doing it, they are falsifying that documentation and getting insurance. And even if they have insurance, it's not going to be there when they need it because they're going to deny the claim. So what's the point of having insurance if you can't do it? So it's almost like it doesn't matter if you got to be regulated or not. Insurance companies are forcing companies into doing the items that need to be done. I'm sharing on my screen right now. We took about 5 different insurance questionnaires. Okay. 4 or 5. We pared them down to 281 unique questions.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Now, not all the questionnaires are going to ask all these questions, but one of the things that we're adding into our system that's coming is where we'll take these and we'll find those questionnaires from each one of the different, Chubb Hub or whatever they are, right? The different insurance companies, and we'll specifically have these questions that are pared down to that company, right? We have them in the database, and then you can come in and answer these, right? And if you don't have them, they're just another gap to be filled. Yeah. Right. So it's the same thing. The insurance companies want you to have all of these things done. Not all 280, but many of these, right?
Yeah.
So don't think just because you're not regulated doesn't mean you need to get it done, because cyber insurance will not pay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that I'm glad that, thank you for answering that, because some guys might be under the impression that it's only for regulated industries, and this is across the board. This should be in place for every business. Smaller the network, I'm sure the insurance will be not as expensive, but I'm sure that the more assets in place, the more expensive it's going to be. But if you have a cyber plan in place, if you're checking off every box, I'm sure it's going to be less expensive, which is beneficial for the IT firm.
Well, less expensive, but at least it pays out when you have it. If we have a breach, which is the where you really want to be, right?
Yeah.
You don't buy. Why would you buy insurance? It's not going to pay out. So.
Yep. Greg, did you have any other questions?
No other questions for me.
Cool. All right, Jeremy, was there anything else you wanted to share? Because I think that we're going to be driving traffic to your. We'll put it on our newsletter. We're going to be announcing it on our groups and try to get you as much traffic to your courses, so you can train these guys up. They need it, and I'm sure we'll start generating some interest for you.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
All right. Well, anything else you wanted to share? Because we're going to wrap this up.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks for being there, and just glad to be a part of everything, trying to take care of these people.
Awesome. Sounds good. Hey guys, well, thanks for joining us. That's a wrap, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.